Hello everyone, I am Brown Exotical Glow, and today I will be talking about the plight of light-skinned exoticals, aka high yellow or red bone exoticals, some people like to call them. These are the trophies of the Black community, especially in media, and the exotic treasure to others. So I noticed the more monoracial you appear, the more you become a target. So if you have 4C hair, if you have more full features, because you are in closer proximity to Black, unambiguous Black women, combined with an exotic light skin tone, you will be a target. The Fenty shades for light skin exoticals are usually 310, 330, 340, or 360. The skin tone of light skin exoticals can be described as warm honey, golden tan, toffee, warm beige, or a light caramel. So the song I thought of when I thought of light skin exoticals is the song "You Will Be Popular." If you ever seen the movie Wicked, that song came to mind when I thought of talking about light skin exoticals. So, light-skinned women have continuously occupied the it girl category. So, some iconic light-skinned exoticals I thought of were first Lena Horne, Dorothy Dandridge, Eartha Kitt, and to go further down in the older generations, well, like the early 2000s, 90s, Lisa Ray, Vanessa Williams, Beyonce, Rihanna, Raven-Symoné, Lauren London, Cassie, and Lori Harvey. So, light-skinned exoticals are like the blondes of the Black community. Your skin tones are highly celebrated in rap songs. Lil Wayne, he has a song. Well, in his song, he says, "I like a long-haired, thick red bone." Pop Smoke has a song dedicated to light-skinned women called I can't remember what it's called, but I know he celebrates light-skinned women. Obviously, that's his favorite. I believe it might be called Yellow Bone. And Childish Gambino has a song called Red Bone. So these are all songs to celebrate or show their love for light-skinned women or their preference. So you are often seen as the leading lady or the trophy wife in film and in music videos, from what I've noticed. This complexion is often fetishized as exotic due to its in-between shade. You are light enough to be considered safe by Eurocentric standards, but at the same time, you are richly melanated enough to be accepted by the Black community. So much like caramel exoticals, light-skinned exoticals do deal with being fetishized and exotified. You are stereotyped as hypersexual or bad girls in music videos and in urban media. Also, light-skinned exoticals are often dehumanized and are often not respected in professional settings. I've seen videos of exoticals talking about the bullying or being targeted in warehouse jobs or like 9-to-5 office settings, experience a lot of harassment and bullying. A lot of younger light-skinned exoticals are often very groomed and pushed towards sex work industries or the nightlife, being sugar babies, models, bottle girls, stripping, and even pornography like OnlyFans. When women and girls, especially unambiguous women, want to improve their dating life or femininity, they usually look to a lot of light-skinned exoticals. Like Shira 7 is very popular amongst all women, but I notice a lot of unambiguous Black women do follow after Shira 7. So I noticed a lot that light-skinned exoticals are not expected to be clapback queens or to be confrontational. You're expected to be softer, more feminine, or you're expected to be the bigger person because people feel like you're already at the top of the hierarchy. Anything you say or do in response to disrespect will be taken out of context. You could be labeled colorist, stuck up, or demonic. if you practice any type of spirituality, if you gatekeep your privileges or any opportunities, you will be also accused of doing witchcraft or demonic again. Also, I noticed when non-Black women want to gain entry into the Black community and gain access to high status or popular Black men, they try to cosplay light-skinned exoticals like Alabama Barker, Danny Lay, and also pretty much all the Kardashians except for Kourtney. The music industry loves to promote this hypersexual image of light-skinned women, usually like a good girl, like an awkward, nerdy girl, to a bad girl pipeline, or more like a stripper persona. So like it reminds me of Beyonce. Her 2013 album, I believe, was labeled Beyonce. It was like I went to a festival where she performed around that time, and she was doing kind of like the stripper persona. I think she was kind of like swinging around a pole, like doing like more stripper seductive moves. Also Rihanna, she went from like this sweet, cute island girl, or like more of like a pop girl, to like this more stripper, throwing money type of artist. Also Doja Cat, she started off as like a awkward, kind of quirky girl to more of a vixen. She's on stage kind of in very revealing outfits. Her butt is out. She has like these kind of like these, I don't know how to describe those outfits, kind of like a showgirl outfit. Also Tyla, I feel like they try to push that on her, but I feel like she is not comfortable with it. I feel like that's where the problem lies. I feel like her label is trying to push her towards that Rihanna route, very sexual, vixen, showgirl, stripper type of image. Also Big Lotto, she does like performances when she's on stage. I saw a clip of her and she was holding the mic, and it looked like she was like, holding it like she was like initiating, given what. And also Cardi B, well, she was a stripper, and I feel like, so it was kind of easier for them to market her that way because she already worked as a stripper. So, but she's also got a lot of other good traits, but that's usually like the image they try to push a lot of light-skinned exoticals into. And I noticed with a lot of the light-skinned exotical artists, they always keep their sister next to them. And I feel like that there's a reason behind that. I feel like it's for their own safety. Like Beyonce, she always had Solange. I feel like as she got older, she kind of separated from her, but I feel like they were together a lot. Well, Rihanna doesn't have a sister, but she used to have her best friend, Melissa Ford, with her a lot. Also, Doja Cat doesn't have a sister. Yeah, but Tyla does have her sister with her a lot. Also, Big Lotto has her sister with her all the time. Cardi B and Hennessy, I haven't seen them together very much, and I think it's because all the stuff that she's going through. But I feel like them having their sister next to them was for a reason. It's for, their own protection, because I'm sure they are preyed on a lot. The industry is full of, creeps and weirdos and narcissists. I'm sure there's a reason for that. So for the powers that be, like the CEOs and the working class men alike, I feel like these images are pushed to like get their rocks off at these women's expense, because these women are always get all the backlash. It's never the men, even though the men are the ones putting money behind them and investing and investing all the ones signing them to these record labels and giving them these stylists that give them this kind of persona. Like usually they don't start off that way until they sign, and then the record label gives them that persona. But it's always the women that get the blame. You also going back to like similar to what I was talked about with the light-skinned exotical music artists, you have to appear very sexual and very available, almost like a stripper / showgirl, or like almost like a sex worker. So another thing I noticed is if you decide to align yourself solely with the Black community and you're attractive and also very ambiguous, there's an expectation that she will be the face of activism for the Black community. Look at Rosa Parks. I mean, she went to sit down on the bus and she refused to get up, and she became the face of, that movement. And there was also another girl before her that did the same thing. She was a dark-skinned monoracial teenage girl, but she was a teen mother. And the Black community, they felt like because Rosa Parks was more marketable, they decided to use her story instead, Black media, because they felt like it would garner more attention, more views for the newspaper, being that she was a light-skinned exotical woman. Also, Amanda Seales, I feel like the reason why she turned to activism, I feel like it's for acceptance. I mean, I feel like she does enjoy what she does. She went to Columbia University for African American Studies. But I feel like a lot of it is rooted in wanting to be accepted by the Black community. That's really the only way. When you look like how Amanda looks, or you look like how Jesse Williams look, you are light-skinned, you are attractive, you are ambiguous, you are liked by white people and Black people alike. They expect you to be the face. That's how they're able to get the money behind them that they need for these movements. So I noticed there is a smear campaign specifically against biracials with white moms, which I find ironic because back in the 90s, the most loved women are like Alicia Keys, Halle Berry, especially Halle Berry. Everyone loved Halle Berry, and she has a white mother. But now there's just like, biracials with white mothers are just horrible, and biracials with Black moms, they're just better, they're more elite, which I think is just like, to me, is ironic. Also, Black people moving I feel like they're moving away from like the Black and white biracials and moving towards supporting more of like the Blasians or the Afro-Latinos instead. I feel like I noticed a trend going on. They're kind of trying to tarnish the image of Black and white biracials in media. So this topic of light-skinned exoticals, it made me think about the story of Frankenstein. So a young scientist named Victor Frankenstein dreams of discovering the secret of life. At university, he builds a creature out of body parts and brings it to life. But the moment it opens its eyes, Victor is horrified by its monstrous appearance and runs away. Lonely and rejected by everyone, the creature teaches itself to speak and read. But when it tries to befriend people, they attack it. Heartbroken, it grows angry and seeks revenge on Victor for creating and abandoning it. The creature kills Victor's loved ones, including his best friend and his bride on their wedding night. So how this ties into light-skinned exoticals is the creature is othered and turned into a symbol of fear rather than just being accepted as a full human being. Light-skinned women, conversely, are often fetishized as a standard of beauty, receiving excessive focus and admiration. But this too is dehumanizing. Being put on a pedestal based on skin tone means being reduced to an object of desire rather than being fully seen. Both dynamics reflect the same mechanism, judging worth through appearance instead of acknowledging individuality. Just as Victor loses control of his creation, society has created an artificial hierarchy of beauty where light skin is glorified and dark skin is demonized and sexualized. This hierarchy functions like Frankenstein's monster, a man-made construct with destructive consequences. It isolates wounds and divides women, especially within communities of color. This creature's deepest pain is loneliness, wanting to be loved and accepted, but constantly being rejected. So, to me, this is an example of the ultimate story about how appearance-based judgment rejection, and responsibility. Just as Victor failed to take responsibility for what he created, society fails to take responsibility for the colorist beauty standards it has created, fetishizing light-skinned women while marginalizing dark-skinned women. Both produce alienation, pain, and distorted reality. So that made me think of this topic. At the end of the day, this is all harmful. And at the end of the day, light-skinned women would not be here if it wasn't for white people and black people, monoracial whites and blacks, getting together and creating these beautiful light-skinned children. But now it's like they're trying to turn their back and demonize light-skinned women, which is what I talked about in my video about evil light-skinned women stereotypes, that light-skinned women are all stuck up, demonic, witches. To me, it's white people and black people being mad at their own creation. They have rejected light-skinned women, and now light-skinned women have, to me, it's like monoracial black people have created this pedestal for light-skinned women. They are the ones that created the term good hair. They are the ones that are online saying, oh, I remember this black man, he made a comment about Amaya not being conventionally attractive, and which was a lie. But black women, dark-skinned black women, were the main ones coming to her defense saying, no, that's not true. She's light-skinned with green eyes. Of course she's attractive. And yes, Amaya is attractive, but it's interesting to me that black women are the first ones to say, oh, all light-skinned women are conceited, stuck-up B-words that think they're better. But as soon as anyone makes a comment on light-skinned women's beauty, you are the first ones to jump up and defend them and say, no, these are the most beautiful women. So it's a weird push and pull, like a bait and switch, because, white people are the ones that put money into the media for these light-skinned artists to become mainstream. And black people are the ones that promote these artists on their social media, the ones that, they were the ones that were talking about Ice Spice the most, or supporting Cardi B the most. But then when these artists get to a certain level where they're making hundreds of millions, and they see that these women actually are human beings, they're not just some perfect fairies, now they want to knock them off this pedestal. Now they're all colorist, they're all racist, they're demonic, they're the worst women in the world. So like I said, it's monoracial people being mad and upset at their own creation. So that is the end of my video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and come back for the next one. Also, share the video. Thank you.